So, it's May 3rd, 3:54 p.m., and you realized that out of the whole month of April you've had, whole March you've had, you have not started studying for the AP exams that start tomorrow. And that's my situation for AP Physics 1. And technically, I did make this channel originally to study, but then I realized something, right? There's a reason why I just stopped making videos after a little bit, and it's because reviewing concepts is such an early stage of practicing for the exam that it basically does not matter. Because, okay, here's the thing that I think AP exams test for. So I'm going to write AP exams test for colon, right? Number one, speed, time management. They want to make sure, and what this means is not like usually when I think of time management in school, it's like, oh, getting stuff done on time. What speed means for AP exams and for College Board is doing things so fast is that you have time to just review for yourself. So it's getting things done early is the important word. Boom. I don't know why I'm writing these like it's a slideshow, but there are the two things. That's one of the big things. The other big thing is a little bit more straightforward. Adaptation. If you didn't know, last year I took the AP Chem exam. I got a 3. I mean, I was technically aiming for a 3. So me getting a 3 isn't horrible, but afterwards I learned it's if I really put in more effort, I could have gotten at least a 4, maybe if I tried super hard, right? Gotten a 5. And I was looking at myself, my friends who got 4s, and my one friend who got a 5, and I was like, what do they have? What did that one person who got a 5 have that I didn't have? And it's knowing concepts so well that you're able to adapt to whatever College Board bullshit they give you. So I don't even have to draw an arrow for that one because I don't even know how to put it into words other than what I just said. But adaptation is the other big thing. And it's like, okay, notice how I didn't really say understanding the concepts in either of those. Technically, knowing concept goes into adaptation, but it's more so like that it's not this, but what it truly is I'm gonna say I'm actually gonna write it out as the word drilling. It's actually like that. Because the true way that College Board, or I would say the true way that, for at least for people like me, get around this inability to adapt is just through drilling a bunch of problems to the point where you do things so much that you just know the do. You know the do, and you know how the do works, meaning that if you had to not do the do, you could find another way to do the do. Does that make sense? I said the word do a lot, but what I realized is that if you want to spontaneously study for AP Physics, AP Chem, which is tomorrow, if this is really what you're watching for AP Chemistry, you're cooked. AP Physics 1, that's on May 6th, I have that. May 11th, Calculus AB, BC. Yeah, I'm assuming people who took combo is also there. Right, whatever day pre-calc is, other days macro, micro, I don't know if that applies to them. Statistics maybe. More so, I'm thinking about the major math related ones. where it's honestly just drilling problems. And here's like the process for it. If, let's say I didn't have, let's say made this video, let's say 26th of April, what I would start is I would genuinely start with opening up slideshows, opening up notes, doing a recall. Why is my, no, that's why. Doing a, there, doing a recall of everything. And you might ask, what is a recall? A recall is basically you just open up a notebook, have a pen, pencil, whatever, and you genuinely write down mostly everything you can remember. And that kind of includes formulas. Formulas, they're like a little bit I'm indecisive on whether or not I would say you have to recall formulas for everything, because you are given a formula sheet for like AP Chem, AP Physics. You're given like, I guess, volume, like I wouldn't say, oh, for calculus AB do a recall and include like volume formulas, I guess. But for physics and chemistry, where there's formulas based around concepts like Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, I don't know, Berzelius law, but you know, the big fluid dynamics ones for physics one, like, look at those and try to recall them, because it makes it where you don't have to spend time looking at your formula sheet during the test, and it makes it that, in my opinion, at least for me, when I understand what a equation does, what it is, like if I were to write, you know, like, because we were just talking about it, P plus like rho, like 1/2 rho v squared plus rho hg equals constant. Like, looking at this, I understand what this means. I can go like, okay, if you increase the pressure, the like speed of the water goes down. If you increase the the height of it, the pressure, like, you know, it goes down and stuff. Like, density only matters to these two things. It doesn't matter to pressure much, meaning that pressure relies off of something else. Nice stuff like that. That's what I would include in a recall. Do it a couple units at a time, and then after you do the recall, you're not gonna remember everything. Right? From this recall, review that. Yeah, sure. Review what you missed. Like, if I were to do a big recall of Physics 1 right now, I'm going to tell you right now, I do not remember shit from rotational kinematics or from rotational momentum. Right? Although I know, yeah, I know normal kinematics, linear kinematics, forces, linear momentum decently well, work energy theorem pretty well. Like, I know those things pretty well. Because simple harmonic motion oscillations, static and dynamic fluids were so recent. Like, I remember those pretty well. Rotational momentum, rotational kinematics, orbits, like rotation of planets and shit. I don't remember that. Circular motion, what the hell is that? Centripetal force? Who knows? So, you know, review it, and then you do a second recall after review everything. Yeah, and you do that until you get to a point where you remember enough that you can be confident when you start doing step 2, which is literally search up. Well, College Board, um, they hate releasing MCQs, but for FRQs at least, do redo previous years FRQs. Just redo them, time yourself, don't cheat yourself out of it. If it says no calculator, don't use a calculator, right? Don't use any tool you wouldn't be able to use on the test room, because that's just going to make it that you're relying on those tools, right? Like, I've been studying for calculus. I haven't been studying for physics, but I have been studying for calculus. The main way is that you literally like, for me, I searched up the 2025 FRQs. I did all of them as if like I was sitting down taking the test. I did the calculator MCQs. I checked my like I did did all the calculator FRQs, the two of them, right? And then I did all four of the non-calculator FRQs. And then at the end, I put down like my times. I put down like I would, stopwatches. You can do a lap. Press the lap button. It gives like the time you finished a lap. Just press that button when you finish one of the FRQs and you move on to the next one. And it makes it where when you're done, you see how much time you took for each thing, right? And I also for like I remember this because this was literally yesterday. Non-calculator FRQs for calculus, right? That's usually you want like 15 minutes. So I would write down like it's golf, like par time. I would like write it like that, 15:00.00, and I would say like actual time, like I don't know, like 12.34.82 or something. So it's just stuff like that, and obviously score it. Use right, AP FRQs like the 2025 ones. They say what they score based off of. They show that it's like, yeah, if you have a answer where it's like da 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 equals like 5 words per minute, they'll show that they have 1 point for the answer. So answer, right? That's that, and then they have an entire extra point. The 2 points given for this thing, one of them is off of the answer, the other one's off of the units. So write your damn units. Understand what College Board actually is looking for and what the scores are. Well, I shouldn't say College Board. It's like the little thing that they give to scores, right? Like look at the scoring sheet, see what they look at, and then score yourself. And then let's say you have an FRQ, you just get it super fucking wrong. Like I had that. I had a disc and washer problem like that, where it's like, oh, you have like this area, or I should, you have like this thing, this, right, that. I should make this. We're just gonna poop value R. Value R is like rotated around like this line, this red line that I'm about to draw, and like calculate or like show the expression, but don't calculate the volume of that. Right, I got that wrong because you know what? I don't know what fucking discs and watches were. I was like, oh, find the volume of it. Oh, what do I do? Right? I just got everything wrong in that. I got like a 4 out of 9 or something. And then that's when I would use tools to figure out what I got wrong. AI use is a big, controversial topic. Ideally, don't use it. Although I will say I myself am pretty guilty of using it, especially with shit that I do not know. Especially because you can just very easily use it problem per problem. See the concept and then see the concept applied to the problem you had specifically. Because, stuff like a Discord server or other stuff like that, while it is much more ethical, people are the things you have to rely on. But you can also, if you don't need to see it applied to your specific problem, you can just search up the concept. Go like what is this? Look at the scoring guideline. They'll say, like in my scoring guideline, I didn't know what it meant, but they said like have a point for Rx, like Rx minus n squared minus like little r x minus n squared. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And And I didn't know what it meant, so I searched it up, and it goes like, "Oh, this pertains for the disc and washer method, or this pertains for the washer method specifically. It's this thing in AP calculus, not AP calculus, calculus, where you take the region of a thing, you rotate it like it's a circle, and there's a hole in the middle which makes it look like a washer. There's a little radius, there's a big radius. You subtract them together, and you blah blah blah, right? And it's like, oh." And then you use that as like the thing, so it's like pi of that, and then like becomes a constant for the integrand from the integral, and it's like, okay. So like after you're done, like don't cheat yourself out. Once you redo those FOQs, look at your time, look at you doing them, and write down what you got wrong, what you need to improve on, and in fact, even like probably redo those problems. That disc and washer FRQ that I totally bombed because I simply didn't understand how to use disc and washer. Redo that problem and use disc and washer to get yourself more used to it. That's most what I can say. Um, After redoing previous year's FRQs, MCQs also get brought up for most subjects. MCQs and FRQs play out pretty different, like differently enough, where I'd say it's a different thing to study for. MCQs, one at the end of the day you could write down A and just pray, but the other thing is that MCQs, they like for calculus, for example, they'll want a more simplified answer. So under like know what problems to do now, know what problems to just and then move on. That's its own skill set, and that's the one where like for FRQs, the way that I was doing them is that if I finished early, I would finish early. I would move on to the next one. Who knows how long the next one takes? And that is kind of true. But like also once I finish all of the FRQs, I would just stop there, even if I like end with a time of like 5201 point like 93, and I had like 8 more minutes left or something. And for MCQs, I feel like that's pretty different because MCQs, you're doing so many problems, you're gonna mess up eventually, and you're gonna do that for FRQs as well. But at least when practicing for MCQs, make sure you use up all the time, so you get an accurate-ish representation of what score you're gonna get. So we're gonna write down redo MCQs. Here's the issue. This is like exclusively a thing where it's like, oh, your teacher assigned you it on AP Classroom. If you are some person who's going to literally fucking walk up to that test and pay the money on the spot and then take it, good luck. I don't know how to, like, you'd have to get these from other places. Other websites might be offering simulations, but it's obviously not going to be previous years because they don't like revealing MCQs ever for some reason. I guess they just recycle a bunch of stuff or it just changes around so much. I don't know. But redo MCQs however you can. Use all the time, because every time just go all out, see how it works. And then number 4, understand your goals. This is probably something I should have done earlier, but understand your goals. In AP Chem, I wanted a 3. So, and in AP Chem, last I remember, at least last year, 42 out of 100 post curve would be a 3. I wanted a 3. I aimed for this score. I got that score. And so I got the score I wanted. Right? And you might go, oh, but your expectations are so low. And you're just like, yeah, that's fair. AP Calculus, this year, AP Calc, I want a 5. How much is a 5? 5 is around, say, a 66 out of 100. And since this is like, okay, I need to reach this score post curve, how much do I need, or like, not post curve, I need this score pre curve, even pre curve for the 42 out of 100 for AP Chem, my bad. Right, put it through pray that they don't change the curve up for that year. So put your standards or your goal score a little bit higher just in case that they change around the thing a little bit. So this is a 5. It's around that much pre-curve. So I'm gonna go. So I go, okay. Well, I want this score, and I'm praying that we get like this curve doesn't change that much. Let's say I want at least a 70 out of 100. That says 700 out of 100. Okay. And then I go into those little websites where it's like, oh, your score calculator or like your score predictor thing, like assuming how many points you get. Right? They'll show a slider. Like for Calc AB, they'll go like MCQs. Right? They like assume half always, so like 22 out of 45, like 5 out of 9, 5 out of 9 for all of the FRQs. Goes down the list. Just do all of those. See what you want, see what scores, and that's how you decide whether or not you should be happy with an FRQ that you do, happy with the things that you do. And that should show how serious you should be about things, if that makes sense. And then if there's a fifth thing, that is I'm currently blanking on, um, hmm, I guess there isn't a fifth thing. It's just this. This is a very early step. Honestly, I would say that if you are already doing pretty well in your class, like this is a thing where it's like, oh, okay, if you're already doing well enough in your class, like you're scoring well on tests and stuff, obviously you don't need to recall everything, just thug it out, right? Or maybe use some of these things to see what you like, thug it out the first time, see what you need to go back, and then go back to this. That's also a very good thing. If I take physics MCQs and I go like, damn, I don't remember. Like, I know less about forces than I thought, because these force questions are asking things out of me that I can't provide answers for. Go back and redo forces. But that's a quick video I wanted to make. In fact, I think I wanted to make this back on Saturday. Ooh, excuse me. Video I wanted to make back on Saturday. I didn't. And then today, honestly, I was a chud today. I literally just like woke up, and I woke up at an early time as well. Did literally nothing. I think I've only been playing Uma Musume and watching videos about Halo for the entirety of today. Even though I was like, yeah, today I'm gonna study. Like that happened. But anyways, look.